In this video, I'm going to explain to you why, despite a small buff for Season 1, Mantis continues to be a great strategist for Marvel Rivals. Let's get started. At the time of this video, as you can see on the Heroes Hot List, which is on the Marvel Rivals website, Mantis has a 56.03 character win rate, which is making her a really popular pick right now. I'm going to go over her stats very quickly. So she has 50 damage per round for projectile. Her projectile speed is 150 meters per second. She has no damage fall off, which is a real advantage. Her fire rate is 2.5 rounds per second. She has 20 ammo before she has to reload, and she is able to do a critical hit. The reason why critical hits are so important is because, as you can see on the screen, she has 4 life orbs, and they regenerate over 3 seconds in time normally. However, if she gets a critical hit, she instantly gets a life orb, which is the cornerstone of her power for her self-healing, as well as buffing other players and healing other players. Her health is 275 and her movement speed is 6 meters per second. Her passive is actually an increased speed boost if she doesn't take any hits for up to 3 seconds. And here's the important part. With Season 1, they just nerfed her just a little bit because they thought she was too fast. So instead of a boost of 2.5 meters per second, she has a boost of only 1.5 meters per second. This really hasn't affected her as a player with her strategy and her abilities. It just makes her a little less quick, which I find not to be a very big deal. For the rest of the video, I'm going to talk about her abilities and how to best use her with some great tips on how to be the most effective on your team. The first ability I want to talk about is her Spore Slumber, and it's probably one of the most important abilities for her in the game. And here are the couple reasons why. First, if you're going to be in the back healing as a strategist, it's not uncommon for you to have a flanker like Spider-Man or Magic Girl, and you're able to escape them pretty easily because no one else is usually helping you back there. And if you put them to sleep, they'll stay asleep there with a Spore Slumber for 3.5 seconds, and that gives you plenty of time to hop your way back to your other teammates in order to get rescued and team up and get rid of that flanker. The other reason her Spore Slumber is so important is that it can interrupt other enemy ults, and if the enemy falls asleep for even a split second, it does give your team enough time to react and heal and get away from them, or even just attack them just to kill them before they can finish all of their damage from their ult. I find that a really useful ability, and it's really fun to put an enemy to sleep when they're using their ult. Give it a try with a lot of enemies like Hulk or Captain America. Her healing ability is called Healing Flower, and it's really quick and fast, especially with DPSs that jump around or in the air. You don't have to really target them, you just have to look their general direction to send a quick heal to them. And it does 55 healing for the first immediate part of the heal, and then it does a healing over time for 8 seconds of 20 points per second. So it's really effective of keeping people healed. It does use 1 life orb, so as I was saying earlier in the video, you definitely want to make sure that you're attacking a lot with her to build up enough life orbs to keep your team healed. And speaking of attacks, you are meant to use the Life Energy Blast, your main attack, as often as possible. You really want to be aggressive with Mantis and help support your team. Aim for those headshots so you can replace those life orbs, so you can heal your team a lot faster. But yes, Mantis is really meant to be played aggressively, and if you're not attacking the enemy constantly, then you're really not using her to her full abilities. It's not uncommon for Mantis players to actually become the MVP because they're so aggressive. So you want to get those shots in, keep healing your team, and if someone gets close to you, use the Natural Anger ability, which costs 1 life orb, but you'll get a 12% boost in your attack, a little bit of healing, and you may be able to take out that invader and flanker before they take you out. The next ability that is very useful is called Allied Inspiration. This gives your teammates a 12% damage boost for about 8 seconds. And this does consume 1 life orb as well. This is a really great ability to use. It could be used either with your duelists or your vanguards, otherwise known as tanks. The key is really to communicate with your team. If you have someone that you think they're ready to go in for a dive, or better yet, they have an ultimate ability that they're ready to unleash, that is a great time to use this ability. Really, in the heat of the battle, I just try to focus on using it and not letting it sit there and not be used, because that's a lot of damage and help for your team that goes to waste if you don't use this and you just get caught up in healing and then using your main attack. Mantis's ultimate ability is called Soul Resurgence. It's a release of an energy field around her that goes out to a radius of 15 meters, and it provides healing over time, movement boost, and also excess healing, which converts to bonus health. Here are the specifics of it. It's a healing amount of 150. The caster and ally get a one-time healing amount of 200. It's a movement boost of 3 meters per second, and the excess healing bonus health conversion is 70%, and the healing max health conversion is 100 points. And it's a duration of 8 seconds. So this really is a fantastic... I like this ultimate a lot because when you use it, you can continue healing and attacking and staying in the battle while helping your team out in a great amount. I like that a lot. There are a lot of ultimates for other strategists that interrupt the game, whereas this one you just can continue to fight and help your team out. When is the best time to use this ability? It's really going to depend on just how you want to play this game and your play style. It's not a direct counter to necessarily any of the other alts, but it can save your team, so it never hurts to save it until you hear another alt coming. I personally like to use it when my team is in the middle of a large battle and I can sense that maybe I'm running out of heals a little bit, and I want everyone to get that extra boost to keep us in the battle long enough to win the battle, especially if we're holding a point. And that's where I find it to be the most useful. It just adds momentum. That's the way I see it. It just keeps your team in the fight. It keeps them going. They'll win that fight, and that momentum stacks. And so when the other team comes back in, they're going to be all upset because you just won that battle and you helped them do that. So in other words, this ultimate can turn the tide of the battle, and it's great to be a hero and do this kind of thing. And it powers up pretty quickly as long as you're so active with her, healing and doing damage to the enemy, especially if you're getting headshots. So keep using this ability as much as possible. Keep that momentum going. Your most important objective with Mantis is to stay alive. So don't be a hero. Don't get out in front of your team and try to make plays and chase people down. Oh, I see so many people dying in this game trying to chase down a death or going off to fight the team by themselves, and Mantis is no exception. She does have no fall off on her attack, so there's no need for you to be in front of your team. Be in the back or be in the middle. Stay alive. Keep healing your team, keep getting those headshots. You want to make sure that you want to avoid risky plays, and you want to be consistent with your support role, and don't try to be a flashy, sweaty player, okay? You want to maintain your presence in the game, and that's going to be really crucial for your team's success. You want to make sure for the best team up, you want Mantis to be teamed up with Adam, Warlock, and Star-Lord. And when this happens, she gets a special ability called Nature's Soul. And what happens from that is that she gets the power of Cocoon Revival, which means she can freely move and reforge her body at a chosen point, similar to Warlock's passive regeneration cocoon. And this can keep her in the battle and again turn the tide of the battle with this ability. The characters that are the biggest threat to Mantis are Black Panther, because he can quickly close the distance between Mantis with his Spirit Ran and his spinning kick. Also, Hawkeye can be really tough because he can pierce her from a long range and attack her. And then pretty much any other flying character like Star-Lord or Captain America, anyone who's in the air. Her projectiles don't have any homing ability, so it's a little bit tougher for her to hit aerial characters, especially ones that are trying to flank her. The best way to counter flankers with Mantis is to just run right into the middle of the battle, get next to your vanguard, and that flanker will start to get the attention of the other characters, and it will get them off your back. I don't usually try to fight off flankers unless I'm really in a bad position. I really try to stay close to my team so that I can heal them, but also just find safety with them, because I hate being attacked by flankers in this game. That's it for this video. I hope you found it useful to learn how to play Mantis and master her well to help your team, especially in competitive. Be sure to subscribe for more videos about Marvel Rivals, and I will have live broadcasts coming soon. Thanks.